Hey, welcome in. Well, apparently Candace Owens isn't having any of this men wearing dresses business. Here's the headline. It's from the New York Post. Candace Owens slams Harry Styles' ball gown. Bring back the manly man. And I have to wonder how many women out there really want their husbands or boyfriends wandering around in dresses, or, potential, how many would be interested in as men in dresses for potential partners? I'm thinking that this is another one of those things that everybody has to just kind of nod and say, oh, how progressive, but they don't really want that in their own lives. But anyway, let's get into this. And I should say first that I don't care what the hell people do. I'm like a total libertarian that way. I don't care what people do as long as they leave me alone. But, that said, you can't help but notice some, perhaps, questionable trends. And keep in mind as well, this isn't like, David Bowie or something like that, right? Where doing this sort of thing, in the past was shocking, and that was it was the shock value of it, right? Well, now this is not shocking. Like, everybody has to just pretend that they think it's wonderful, even if they don't care. Like myself, I don't care what he wears. I don't give a damn. I just think that it's kind of pandering and embarrassing is all. Anyway, he's dragging the patriarchy down. Oh, clever pun there. So says conservative firebrand Candace Owens of the 26-year-old Cherry singer, never heard it, Harry Styles' new American Vogue cover, in which he wears a ball gown and custom Gucci jacket. And what did Candace Owens said? She said, "There is no society that can survive without strong men." Owens, 31, wrote on Twitter in response to the photo of Styles, who, with the cover, became Vogue's first solo male cover star. Says, quote, "The East knows this. In the West, the steady feminization of our men at the same time that Marxism is being taught to our children is not a coincidence. It's an outright attack. Bring back manly men." And, there's a lot of truth in that, because strong men want to be independent. They don't want to be a part of a collective. They don't want to abrogate all of their responsibility to committees, right? Things like that. Strong men want to be independent. They want to take care of their family themselves, and they want to achieve what they can with their own efforts. Weak men want to be communists, right? Anyway, the tweet has racked up more than 74,000 likes. Its most liked response from actress and filmmaker Olivia Wilde has over 58,000 likes and reads, "You're pathetic," which is the absolute safest thing she could possibly do. In fact, it's probably in her contract for the next film she's making that she has to make a statement like that. Let's see, it says in the Vogue profile, Styles talks openly about his love for traditionally female clothing. He says, "I'll go in shops sometimes, and I just find myself looking at the women's clothes, thinking they're amazing," he told the magazine, further declaring that "you can never be overdressed. There's no such thing. Hee." I don't know how he talks. I've never heard him talk before. I just imagine it's something like that. So here he is. He's wearing I don't know what the heck that is. Some sort of a dress, I guess. And there he is just in a straight up big frilly dress. And again, I don't care what he wears. Do whatever you want. I'm for people being free. But I just find this amusing. Here, let me show you something else as well. Here's something very interesting. This is what the nobility of France looked like right before they brought out the guillotines. Let's see, they're all wearing, none of them are wearing pants, I'll tell you that. They're all wearing something like a skirt. And there's lots of frilliness and ruffles, and it's all very ostentatious. And anyway, it didn't go very well for them. It did not go well for them at all. Because I'm pretty sure that the guys manning the guillotines weren't wearing dresses. I could be wrong about that. Correct me if I am. But I just suspect that they weren't. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. It does seem that this sort of, I don't know, some might call it a decadence, does seem to come before a fall in history. Let's see. He's inspired by gender-blurring male showmen, including David Bowie, Prince, Elvis. Was Elvis gender-blurring? I don't believe that he was. Freddie Mercury and Elton John, whom he also looks up to musically. But, when you're talking about, David Bowie and Prince and Freddie, it was shocking is the thing. They were doing it for shock value, right? It wasn't virtue signaling. What he's doing is fundamentally different. This is just a sop to the most lefty types, the most culturally, gender studies leftist types. It's actually quite a different thing. Anyway, let's end this off. While flamboyant outfits felt mind-blowing as a child, today he feels comfortable in more extreme outfits. He says, now I'll put on something that feels really flamboyant, and I don't feel crazy wearing it. I think if you get something that you feel amazing in, it's like a superhero outfit. Really? Let's see. Clothes are there to have fun with and experiment with and play with. Not really. I mean, I don't have clothes to have fun with. I don't know. Do you have fun with your clothes and experiment with them and play with them? I don't know. I mean, I just wear them. I mean, I have like 400 black t-shirts. So, I mean, that's kind of the extent of the fun and experimentation that I have. I don't know. Is there a lot of men out there who feel this way? I don't know. I mean, obviously him. Anyway, what he says is, what's really exciting is that all these lines are just kind of crumbling away. When you take away, there's clothes for men and clothes for women. Once you remove any barriers, obviously you open up to the arena in which you can play. I don't know. I mean, doesn't he just feel so decadent? I mean, I'm sure he cares about all the poor people in the world too, right? And all the hungry people in the world and the less fortunate. And I bet that doesn't take away any of his enjoyment from being really flamboyant and having fun and experimenting with his clothing. I mean, I'm sure he's very worried about global warming too. But, of course, it's obviously also very important to remove barriers of what kind of clothes people wear for some reason. Anyway, this is empty virtue signaling and really dumb. And I think that Candace Owens is echoing the thoughts of a lot of women when she says, bring back the manly men. Because women, at the end of the day, don't really want weak men running around in dresses. I just don't think that they do. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you'd just like to listen, there's the podcast, Radio BALONEY. It's on pretty much every platform, including Spotify. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.